and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com. And please take a moment and do it now.
Do it now. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, we got shorted some award ceremonies here because they're going to play at the end of the show, but that's why. Somehow John and I got consigned to the end of the show. I'm not sure how this worked out like this. But everyone, welcome to News on the Flip Side. Yes, I know. I seen the comment. I promise. You know what? I'll just ask her before we start, okay? She's probably going to give you the bird finger or something, but I'm going to ask her right now. This lady from Sacramento, California wants to know, Emily, why you don't have your own podcast.
Oh, I'm very busy. And
she said you were going to say that, and she said that's not an excuse.
Okay, so what does she want me to podcast about?
You heard that. You got a question? You got an answer for her? Oh, everything, Emily. I don't know if that's even legal, my friend. I don't know if we can go there. I just don't know if we can go. So wait. Send that again. I didn't understand that last part. So everything, Emily. Everything. I don't think John would appreciate that. Actually.
I think I would just talk about chocolate all day, and that might get.
Yes.
She did used to do it. She has a series of interviews she did with people who have completed the online writing workshop. She has about 20 or 30 of those that she did a while ago. If we get enough listeners that say, come back on, Emily, then maybe we can talk her into picking it back up again and interviewing more people, since we've got several thousand people have done with it. And that way, she did really good with that.
Yeah. What's that, Carol? No, it's teasing. John and I are in our podcast. What are you talking about? No, we did not get thrown out. We're still in for the winning. I just didn't play it at the beginning. Jesus. I can already tell we're going to have one of these rambunctious groups tonight.
Yes, we have a rambunctious group.
Last couple of nights they've been rambunctious. What?
But before we get too much into it, I want to introduce our special guest here, Marianne Xenos. She was a published finalist in volume 37 and a winner in volume 38, which is the book behind Joe with the map. 37, I was right.
Wait. She's a winner.
No, I was a finalist. I was a finalist in 38, but I didn't get published.
Oh, okay.
And then I was a published winner in 39.
This is a really sucky intro I'm doing.
Okay, we'll do it again. Let's do it again.
Let's start over. Where's my 37?
Go.
Marianne was published in L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future, Volume 39. She has one of the most talked about stories in the book. If you've been hearing wind about the shape-shifting chihuahua, that's Marianne's story.
Yeah.
It's a very catchy, very spunky, great story, and we're super excited that she's here with us tonight. She's amazingly talented.
And we're putting a link to the audiobook that we just released as well. We've made a special offer so that we're putting a link, or Joe's putting a link on where he puts the links that you can download. And you can listen to her story in full, the audiobook, which is a great story. It's a great performance also by, I think it was Taylor Meskeman that read it. You can get that for free and listen to her whole story. And all it's going to cost you is to be able to opt in for the emails so we can actually send you the stuff. But otherwise, you can get it for free. And it's an amazing story. Obviously, it's one of the 12 best stories for the year she was good enough to write for us.
The stories were fun this year. They were kind of campy, funny, goofy. When I was talking with Dave the other night, and we were talking about Death and the Taxman, I was kind of like, I said, I just went a whole different way. I was like, wait, what is this? I mean, this year's stories kind of did that for our own.
And he's also got a novel. He just finished writing it. He sent it to me a couple of days ago. I got to read it, and I'm going to interview him and his illustrator, Sarah Morrison, in about 3 weeks on his novel, Death and the Taxman.
And you just had Marianne's illustrator on recently, April Solomon. She did the artwork for Marianne's story.
She challenged.
Show that picture again.
Yeah.
April Solomon is mind-blowing. She is so talented. She is so wonderful. And just when you look at the way she creates dragons, she really knows what she's doing. And this character, she nailed my main character, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I love being next to Dave I
Yes,
told
good
Dave
place to
that,
be.
that the two of us we get our picture, our illustrations next to each other. He's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun.
I really like getting to know him.
He's definitely fun to chat with. It's
He is.
so you just well, you know what, we're gonna, since we were right there, we just segue right into that. So I know you went to the reveal, and we talk about this a lot. We talk about this in the 24 hour and a couple of things that goes on regularly. So now at least some winners, if they hear the show, if they win, they'll have some idea of what's coming. Anyway, getting back to what we talked to. So was it easy for you to focus in on the artwork? First, let me ask you this. Was it easy for you to find the artwork? And how did you really feel when you seen it? Because I know there's lots of tears at the reveals. I've seen 4 of them now. So
have you? Well, there's an interesting thing about the reveal, which is that I couldn't attend because I couldn't go to California.
Oh, that's right. I apologize.
For health reasons. However, my friend and my writing teacher, Nina Kariki Hoffman, took
One of our
me.
judges.
She zoomed me in on her phone, and so she walked around for about an hour. Actually, she carried me around for a while, and April Solomon carried me around. And she introduced me to people, which was so funny. I saw Dean Wesley Smith, and I'm waving at him.
Dean's great.
And I thought, why is he looking at me funny? And then I realized I remembered I was on a phone. I mean, I was like waving at people from a phone. I met Nancy Kress, and I love Nancy Kress's work, and I'm trying to have an intelligent conversation with her. And again, I'm like 2 inches tall on somebody's phone. But when she brought me when Nina carried me in to see all the work, I knew which was my piece immediately. And again, imagine the absurdity of it, that I'm on a phone and I meet April Solomon, and the two of us were crying.
Yeah.
And that there were a couple of points with this whole experience that really opened my heart in a certain way. And one was talking to April Solomon about how she created the illustration. And then she had this idea too. She said, I think there's a whole story that comes after this. I think there's more to this story about Evine and the dragon and what happens next. And I think she was right. And in some ways, I felt like she made the character Evine after the climax of the story. I felt it was because she looks healthy. She looks like she just had a meal. Because in the story, she's hungry. The vampire is hungry, and she hasn't had a good meal in a long time. And so I think that after she finally has something to eat, she's like robust and healthy and cheery and looks like somebody you want to hang out with, and you're not worried about it's going to just kill you in the middle of the coffee. So, but anyway, that was really, meeting April it was very emotional for me. It was a really incredible moment.
It seems to be for everybody.
That's where we met you there. I remember she was running around introducing you to everybody. I came around, where's Marianne? I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you?
Marianne's on a phone. And then April held the phone. We did all these group pictures, and April held me up on the phone so that I could be in the group pictures. And one of the things about this contest that's amazing is TJ Knight, also known as Dustin Adams, took picture. He text bombed that day. He just kept taking pictures. He sent me pictures all day long so that I wouldn't feel left out. And I feel like the generosity of everybody I've met. I've never been in a competition where everybody was so generous and open-hearted. And so that was an amazing thing for me too.
That's great.
Yeah,
that was. It was originally set up. When it was set up by Mr. Hubbard in '83. Those are the people he brought in. These are all the biggest names in science fiction, right? Judges and stuff. And that was her whole attitude. We want to be able to lend a helping hand to the aspiring writer and give them that, that vote of confidence and just keep on going. And that's what this contest has been doing now for 4 decades.
Right. And that's why I know that year, Nina Hoffman was one of the winners that year. She was one of the winners.
Right.
And her thing about, and because I take her writing class, and her thing about it is that every quarter you take your best story and send it to Writers of the Future. And then if it doesn't, if you don't win, then you send it out again. But so for a year and a half, I sent my best story every quarter to Writers of the Future. But I got a finalist, 2 honorable mentions, and then a win out of 6 stories I sent. So that wasn't bad. That was a good.
Very
It was a good run. And when Joni called me the second time to tell me I was a finalist, she said, you have a really good run here. Like this is the second time she called me about being a finalist, and she'd been calling, so it was a nice thing. But
yes, we talk about Joni a lot too. Her name comes up a lot for some reason.
it has to, because
it comes up
she's
a lot.
the message. And even when she's called me with bad news, because once I was a finalist, and so I was on pins and needles waiting, and she had to call me and tell me I didn't win, and I felt as validated by that as I did by the win. And that's the sign of somebody who really, I don't know, who really understands. So,
it's not informal. You just didn't get an email saying thank you.
Right. No, she called me on the phone, and nobody called. I don't answer the phone. So, so there she is. She calls me on the phone. And every time I see Hollywood, California, I'm like, oh, wait, I think I know who that is. But she was so kind and so validating when I was a finalist and didn't win. And then, of course, it was even more validating when I was a finalist. And then she told me I came in first. So it was like that was a shock. And that was really great.
Yeah.
She told me that Jody Lynn Nye was over on the phone singing the name of my story. Moonlight and Funk. Moonlight and Funk. Moonlight and Funk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she definitely enjoyed it.
It's a great title for the story. It's a great story. If anybody out there is listening, you want to get the book, it's Writers of the Future, Volume 39, just to get Marianne's story.
With a dragon on the cover.
The dragon on the cover. Now, April is very brave. Yeah. So I had her on with Larry Elmore a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And so they decided which one of them would draw the best dragons. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
Larry's
Larry's so humble.
Yes, and she's a big fan of Larry's. But we were doing dragon because we must have shown 30, 40 dragons that night between the two of them. And so now we're going to have a dragon contest. Either going to be 4 or 6 artists all together and see who draws the best dragons. I'm like, how did I get roped into this? And April said she's going to win. I'm like, I don't know. Larry's going to be hard to beat, man.
He's amazing as an artist.
He's going to be hard to beat. I was like, I said, ooh, I'll have to be judging here. No, it'll be as fun as it can be.
I think something about April too is that, she's very observant. And then, for instance, with my story, the character, the human character, the vampire character is the central, and she made that central in the picture, even though she's a dragon person. But then I heard her while I was on the phone, like wandering the room. I overheard April Solomon say, "When you look at nature, dragons are everywhere," and that blew my mind. And I realized that's how she draws. She draws like the way leaves get layered on a tree, or the way bark is, that she takes natural patterns and works them into this dragon figure, which is fantastic. And so I think that's what makes her so good, is that she's really a strong observer too. That makes her a really good artist.
It's she's a fan. She's a lot of fun to talk to. I got to say, she can talk as much as I can. That's saying a lot.
And what did you do?
Her and Sarah were the first 2 interviews I did when I got there. Mm-hmm. They were the first brave guinea pigs, I guess we'll say. Right. And it was them and David Hankins and I forgot who else it was, and they're just really high energy. And they were and she was smart. She was tagging along everywhere Larry and Tom and them went, and my other good friend Echo. I always want to call her that. It's become a thing in my head now. It's a shame. But a matter of fact, Lazarus is going to be in on the 12th, talking about his new book coming out. So.
Good.
Oh, good.
Great.
Yeah. So
his book looks beautiful. I've seen the cover.
Yes. Yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago with me. We were talking about the anthology, and he's coming on to talk about the book. So we'll see where it goes. He's a lot of fun to talk to. He can talk like I can too. So it's a lot of fun to talk with him. We were torturing Echo one night. We got her in between us. I thought she was going to kill one of us. But anyway, enough about that. So you've honorable mention, runner up. Okay, now, you know, everyone talk to me about honorable mention because I gripe about those all the time. I'm not a bad loser. I mean, I'm not a good loser. John knows I complain about it all the time.
I totally relate. Yeah.
Yes, I'm like, and I don't like waiting around either. That's the other thing. Wait, what do you mean I gotta wait? Can't you tell me now? Oh no, we have made up our mind. Well, why the hell did you call me? I don't want to wait. I don't need to. But it's a lot of fun to listen to y'all describe when Joni calls the first time and when Joni calls the second time. And I think it's great that it's not in personal like a lot of other places I've interviewed. They get like an email usually or a text.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's a text message. Most times it's an email. Thank you, blah 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 blah. It's like a pat letter, no real emotion to it or anything like that. And so it's kind of one of those things. And actually, John, Curl, it didn't. Let me try it again. I thought I had put it up there. Let me try one more time. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it should be running. Maybe you're right. Let's find out if it is or if it isn't. And I don't see. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, no, it wasn't running. There y'all go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, they had asked me about it a second ago, and I was like, well, I thought it was running because I had put it in the box, but I guess I didn't hit add.
And I just also uploaded the link to that link on Writers of the Future Facebook page.
Yeah, so
the Oscar Writers of the
Thank
Future
you.
Facebook page, you can get there and click on it and listen to the whole story. Once we're done with this interview tonight, you can download it now and listen to it once we're done with our show.
Yeah, don't listen to it now. Wait, you have to wait.
Yes, wait, just wait. Actually, you should, but while you're listening to it, you can order book 39.
There you go.
And you order the whole book. Yeah. I think it's. Can I just say too that I think it's a beautiful book and something. I have to say that my writing teacher said you have to go apply to this contest. So I go, okay, I'm going to apply to the contest. So I applied and I applied and I applied. I didn't expect to love the book. I didn't expect to love all the other people. The quality of the book knocked me over. How beautiful it is. The illustrations, working with April. I'm like, April Solomon is in my life. I can't believe that. So like these kinds of things are just there. I just thought, okay, I'll do what I'm told, and I'll submit the story. And so, and I was submitting a lot of stories at that time. I had probably like 16 stories out in the wind, and it just turned out to be more beautiful, more meaningful. I like the other writers so much. I like the other stories so much. I thought, this is a gorgeous anthology. So that's an exciting thing to me.
Yeah. It is. It's a great one. It's like we've been doing this for a long time, and kind of every year I'm like, oh, this is my favorite.
Right. I can imagine.
It's fun. There were just such great stories in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a little teaser thing for this is when a vampire, a dragon, and a shape-shifting chihuahua meet on a beach in Key West, fireworks go off. But that's just the background. It's a very clever story what you did. Now, is there any personal backstory to that?
There's some personal backstory. My father lived in Key West when I was younger. And so I spent a lot of time in Key West. He was like a conch. Even though he was a newcomer, he was like sort of old and crotchety enough that he'd fit in with all the old conchs. So I would go down, spend time on a bicycle. Key West was so small. You could go everywhere and meet everybody. So I have a lot of love with that. And the vampire is a lot like people I knew in the 70s. I really based her on sort of that kind of like, just the kind of people I knew who would get into trouble, who might have to leave Boston under force, But I also realized that the dragon, Tan, I was thinking about this week. He's a lot like old guys I've known who've been in AA, who they've always got a proverb for everything. There's always a slogan for everything, like you're having a hard time and they go, I'll tell you what you have to do. And they'll give you like, just keep it easy, keep it simple, stupid. They'll give you like a thing. And I realized he's kind of like that. He's smoking his pipe. He's, sitting on the beach smoking his pipe. He tells her, how to change her life. And she listens to him actually. And so in that way, that part of it was very personal to me. And other parts of it were over the top fantasy. And that's where I wanted to go, was over the top fantasy. The idea of a dragon and a vampire in Key West It was ridiculous.
And a Chihuahua that turns into
The Chihuahua.
Hey, let's not get on Chihuahuas now. They'll come out
No
here.
spoilers,
Stop
no
saying the word,
spoilers.
people.
The Chihuahua was a total gift to my daughter.
Yes.
She has a dog that's half Chihuahua, half Pit Bull.
Oh, wow.
And
That's an interesting mix.
No,
Just
thinking how that came to be.
Oh wait, actually, Joe, the Chihuahua is from Metairie.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, she was living in Metairie.
that one of mine are from
I
there.
told you the name of the restaurant when she was a server, you would know it, and I can't remember it now. But
If you think of it, tell me.
this Chihuahua was living in the woods right outside of New Orleans with 8 puppies. And got rescued, and the puppies got rescued. And so after all the puppies were gone, the dog was still in the pound, and she took the dog, this little dog named Honey. So I promised her, she was going through a rough divorce. And I told her a story about a Chihuahua, which is a Chihuahua who changes, it becomes a were dragon.
Look, mine thinks it's a Chihuahua, so.
It's a Chihuahua, yeah. So anyway, that was really a gift to my daughter.
That's
For a bad divorce gift.
I'll have to make. I didn't think about it. I'm gonna make my wife read that one.
I think she might like it.
No, she probably will. For a woman that for 30 years didn't want any pets in my house at all, and then all of a sudden, my middle stepdaughter brings home a blonde Chihuahua. Next thing I know, I have a dog sleeping in my bed. This dog whining at my foot. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then, and I was raised with big dogs. I mean, big dogs had boxers and shepherds and pinchers. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing, man? Now I'm just hooked, and now it's just sad. I'm walking down the street, big 250-pound guy or too low, Well, one of my dogs comes from Alabama. Her mama's name is Barbie, and her daddy's name is Leroy. Deep, dark Alabama, apparently, that them dogs come from. But they're show dogs. We'll never show them, but they're supposed to be show dogs anyway. So, I mean, you've submitted now. You're gonna. Well, that's right. You can't win no more. So where are you going from here?
No, well, I've been sending. What? One interesting thing happened is that. So I started writing like 2 years ago. I was doing other things, and then I had some health issues. I had to make a lot of changes. So I started sending out stories 2 years ago. And I just sold my 13th story this week.
Hey, great.
Which is very exciting, and so that's moving along. And the week that I found out that I won, the day after I got 2 acceptances in the mail. So it was sort of like, it wasn't like the cause and effect is hard to. I don't think is only because of having this on my resume. I think that it's sort of things were beginning to go in a positive direction, and this was part of the positive direction. That there was momentum. So I'm writing a lot. I'm writing a lot, and I'm sending a lot out. And I got.
It's got to help your confidence.
What?
I said, as a writer, it's got to help your confidence out.
It does. So there's a part of this that I just told somebody else's story. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I never told you this story. That the most incredible thing about the phone call about being a finalist is that right after that, the judges go read your story. And that means that people whose books I've read, people whose books I've bought in the bookstore, right? So people like Nancy Kress and Nnedi Okorafor and Orson Scott Card and Nina Kariki Hoffman, people like that are going to read my little story, my humble little, story, that they are going to read it. So that changed everything for me. That just was, especially that first time when I was a finalist, I thought, I don't care if I win. I know that these people who I respect are reading my story, and they like it enough that it got that far. This time, they liked it enough that they gave me first prize in that quarter. Blew my mind. It just blew my mind. But it does help send out the next story a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty much everybody I've talked to. So this is four sets of winners, 3 years, 4 sets of winners. Right. Pretty much most of the people I talk to, they feel it. And what's weird for me is I talk to a lot of them like the first day or two they're there, just chit chatting with them, just trying to figure out who's who. And I can feel the nervousness off of them and the antsiness off of them. And then by the time we get to the gala, most of them are, chest out, happy, proud. You can see it. You can see where it actually kicks in.
Right.
I mean, the guys at Galaxy Press and Author Service do a fabulous job, but it really does. You can see this. They start to really realize, oh man, I really did win something good, didn't I?
Mhm.
And there's so many things that come with it. And like you said, there's so many big names that are going to read your stories or going to give you pointers. It's
Right.
I mean, thanks to attending, I think I'm up to 33,770 words now.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
I'm going to
We
jump off a
started at
freaking
nothing.
bridge.
That's fantastic.
You're going to
Because
find me.
I couldn't write. Then you've worked on this online writing workshop. You haven't finished yet, but you've gone through it a couple times.
Yes, I did. I get 31,000 words. I can't send them all. Emily should shoot me.
Yeah. You got that.
She'll
Oh, by
shoot
the way,
my ass.
I just posted the link also to Marianne's story on the Facebook page for this
Yes.
show. So I just put it on there now too.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much.
it should. And remember, people, when we're done tonight, it will post here and it will post on all the rest of our pages as well. No, Catherine, we ain't got that on the website yet. Now we got some other stuff we're doing, but that'll probably be this weekend since I'm taking 5 days off and well, 6. My son's getting married Wednesday
Oh.
the 5th. So yes, I'm like, I want to throw a party, but shh.
I hope you
She's 37. I mean, it's time to get married. Let's be honest about this. I was thinking of that. I said, boy, you don't get married soon. We'll drag your ass out to LA. I'll find somebody for you. But don't get me wrong. I love him. He's a great kid. He's a partner now. He's actually grown up and retired his brother and taken over for him. And he's hardworking.
That's good.
I'd still put him up for adoption if anybody wants a 37-year-old. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding, guys. No, nobody good. It's they're just having a small wedding, just him and yes, Dad gets to go and stuff like that. But no, there'll be a party probably. Well, they're going anyway. We're going to talk about this here. We'll talk about this later. But they'll be down in Florida if you want to catch up with them. I don't think his old lady will appreciate any women coming up and talking to him. I'm just saying, she's very possessive. What can I tell you? That's just one of them things.
Well,
See here.
So listen to the podcast and then vote. And
That's
vote,
right.
vote.
Everybody better damn vote. You know how I am about this. I don't want to have to whine all year again. I'm all happy with runner up and stuff like that, but
Voting
no, actually,
starts tonight at
they wanna
midnight. It
win.
starts
Yeah.
tonight at midnight, Joe.
That's going to be up on the website. Actually, it's going up tomorrow morning. I seen it earlier before we came on. That's it. So People's Choice Podcast Awards, go vote.
Yeah, because it starts July
You
1st.
can cheat vote 5-6 times. I don't care. No,
No.
they won't let you.
Joe,
They
vote.
won't let you. You can only vote one time.
Talking to people that run a very strict no cheating contest.
I always tell them they can't cheat for y'all. So
Oh,
you know,
there.
no, y'all can cheat for me. Don't worry about John. Don't cheat for him. Just cheat for me. I'm not too proud. I'm telling y'all. No, they actually. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They do it by IP address, so you can't cheat. Sorry, guys. I would. What do you mean? What do you mean? Give you something for voting? I'm not giving you nothing for voting. What the heck? Get out of here!
We're giving you a great show, and we'll continue giving you great shows, even better shows when we win.
Give you something. Y'all gotten spoiled. Y'all know that, right? Lightsabers and books. I think it's time to start buying some books, people. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, for all these freebies y'all gotten over the last 3 years. I mean, I was counting the other day. We have given away a lot of books. And yes, this summer this Christmas year, we're going to go for 3,000 this Christmas.
Wow.
Yes. Well, we had a lot of people sending in books this year, and I got some stacked over there and stacked other places. And we gave away, I think Writers of the Future gave away like 200 or 300 with us last year for Christmas.
Wow. That's a lot.
And so Marianne said, your book might be in a bunch. And then we were giving away, everybody who won a lightsaber got 36, 37, and 38
Wow.
along with the lightsaber.
That's cool.
That's
Yes.
impressive.
So, I had them. I'm not giving away no books right now. And by the way, I can't find my 237s autographed. I'm like, I hope I didn't give them away to somebody. I'd be hacked off. I was looking for it because we were talking about it the other night, and I thought it was sitting right there, but that's 36. And I think this is 36 through 30 behind me. And yes, and by the way, if you get a new book out, you start getting a book. I offer this to any authors that write for Writers of the Future or they're personal friends of mine. They can send me their book and it'll go right back here. You can't see it. Steve's book's been up there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. This one's been up here for a couple of weeks, but Lazarus will be up here starting as soon as it lands in my pocket. It'll be up there as well. So we put them up there. And I tell people, it's not just, when you come on this show, because I host 3 shows on the network, but I do a lot of guesting on other networks. So, and that's still behind me while I'm guesting. It's always back there. So, and I don't mind. If they're writers of the future, I don't mind. Yes, Denise. There's a few authors that are friends of mine that can send them too. Oh, don't be a crybaby. Who do you think this is? Right here, non-human, Gary Haslin. He's a good friend. Yes, that's Rendlesham. Yes. That's where John and Emily come from. They landed in the ship there. That's about Rendlesham Forest. The suspected extraterrestrial landing. We'll leave it at that and say that. So so you're right. And you got 13 of them, so you're doing good. So short stories, novels, novelettes, anthologies. Which way? I'm just nosy.
Wait.
For you, I'm talking to you. Which way?
Yeah.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you, girl. I'm talking to you, girl. That's what I'm talking to, man. I'm talking to you. So you're gonna watch me because I'll be blabbering about something and just go back to talking to you. So I'm dangerous like that. It's
okay. I think the question was for me.
Yeah, it was for you. Yeah, it was for you. I'm curious.
I'm working on a novel, and I think it's going to be about a year. And then I think at the end of the year, I'm going to do a collection because I have 13 stories published, and I probably have another 6 or 8 in the pipeline that are almost done. Wow. So I think that's a collection. Yeah, I call it a collection. Someone else might call it something else, but I think I'm going to call it a collection. And so I'm going to do the collection first, and then I'm going to do the novel. The novel is, I've only been really writing for 2 years, and a novel is really long and it's big and it has all these moving parts. It has these things have to balance out, and it's the arc. It's like getting that arc to all work is. So I have some work to do, but I took my prize money from Writers of the Future and I put it into a novel class. So I'm working with a writing coach around writing my novel. So that's what I did with my prize money. Smart. Yeah, I felt like it felt like special money. I have this feeling sometimes that money you get from art, money you get from writing, that you get paid for your creative work, it needs to go back into the work. So that was what I did with that. So, so I'm working with a really good coach. I have 2 really good coaches right now.
Hey, all that helps. Yeah, Jackie, I know. I need a writing coach too. That's Emily, by the way. When I go to LA, she's like, "Did you finish writing? Do you want me to hurt you? Really? When you give me this damn book?" I'm like, "No, Miss Emily, please don't hurt me." She's mean, people. Y'all just don't know. I'm just kidding. It's sad.
Emily, you look like the least mean person.
I know. See, that's how she gets you. She's all like, "I'm so sweet. I'm so nice."
Work in public relations, and Joe is anti-public relations.
Yes,
that
no. What's it? Oh no, Emily. No, I love Emily to death. No, I pick on her all the time, but I love her to death. If I didn't like her, I wouldn't pick on her. No, that's the truth of it. Somebody just asked why I pick on you all the time. It's somebody got to keep her ass straight, man.
All the way on the other side of the country.
Yes, I'm safe. I'm safe. It's yes, people. It's a. No, they're a great team. John and Emily are a great team. I give them hell all the time, but they're a great team. They really are. No, they do a great job. I watch them.
I really recommend a writing coach, though.
Yes,
I think a writing coach is a fantastic thing because if nothing else, they tell you when to send your story to Writers of the Future. It's sort of just that thing of somebody else might believe that you can do something that you don't believe you can do yourself. And that's a helpful thing. So,
Very. So, yeah.
No, we're not asking.
I was thinking about it.
Stories. Sometimes we have spouses submit stories because the person writing said, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. But the spouse is so convinced and they send it in. And Joni's had experiences of calling somebody saying, "Congratulations." They said, "For what?"
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe another story was submitted.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm friends with I go to a writing group with someone named Eric Witchie, and he's also a former
winner. He's a great guy.
He is a fantastic
guy.
He was a
winner back 20, 30 years ago.
Right. And he also told, because I mean, I was sort of coming into all of this as a newbie, but also I'm older, I'm not I started at 64. I started sending out stories. So Eric was really helpful and told me about sort of what happened to him when he was a winner.
Yeah,
and then his whole process after that. But he gave me the exact same advice that Nina gave me, which is take your best story every quarter and send it in, and then just leave it there. Mm-hmm. And then when you get it back, send it again. So that is, so it was, because I think when I had my second honorable mention, I made a joke that I was going to wallpaper my bedroom with honorable mentions. I thought that I was just going to be one honorable mention after another. And my final, I said, I don't need any more certificates. I'm just going to, be papering my room with them. And I got that advice, like, just keep sending in your best story. And that was the best advice.
And how many times did you enter the contest before you actually won?
I think I entered 4 times. No, I didn't. 6 times. Right. I got 4 pieces of paper. I got 6 times I entered. Yeah.
Oh, so out of 6 times you entered, you got 4 certificates?
Yeah, I got 4. Yeah. I did okay.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say you did pretty okay there.
Yeah.
It's well, and actually 6 is pretty good for writers. I noticed illustrators get in faster, but the writers usually take a little long to get in. Yeah. I know we sat down a couple of weeks ago and went through and figured on average it's about 14 to 18 submissions before they win. Some are much further, mm-hmm. Some are much shorter, but it seemed like the average was. And I was just going back through interviews I've done. Because it's
submitted, what, 40 times?
48.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and somebody got confused a couple of weeks ago about that. I was talking, they said, like, well, no, it's just once a year. So no, it's 4 times a year. That's why when you hear us say like 16, it's not 16 years, people. I said they're entering 4 times a year. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
No,
it's writersofthefuture.com. Yeah, I know it. It's like etched in this side of my brain now. Yes.
Because I know someone else was saying that they entered the contest maybe 20 or 30 times before they won. And I can see that makes sense to me. I can see that happening. Yeah. And then I also felt like what
and Preston had quite a few books out.
He kept applying, and that's so good.
Yes.
I think that's really good. I have one of the things about being older, and also that I've been an artist, is that maybe I was sometimes it just has to do with finishing work. And I think maybe I was sort of ready, because I was like 64 years old and I'd gone through a major illness. And I felt like I'm just ready. I'm ready to finish stories and send them out. So I think I had that going for me in a way. And then also I had Nina as a teacher, which was like such an accident and such a good luck thing that happened. So
yeah, she's such a sweetheart.
She is, and really believes in Writers of the Future. She's a real she feels very strongly about it. So
yeah, she's been a judge for like 30 years or something. I mean, she's been a judge for a long time.
Yeah.
I love how Nina comes out to the Writers of the Future every year, and she's always like running around with a little camera taking pictures of everybody everywhere she goes. It's like you're just walking, you're having a conversation, and Nina like jumps out of a bush and takes a picture of you. It's just like she's just so cute. I'm always like,
but you want to know something that's funny?
Huh?
Every time Joni has called me, I have been on a Zoom call with Nina.
Oh, wow.
Like I go to her work sessions.
Good luck charm.
Yeah.
I know. And so I've had to say, wait. And then I have to say, Nina, guess what? And you have to, so then of course, then she can't be a judge.
Right.
So both times she's had to recuse herself.
A few of the judges have had that where like one of their students or someone in their writing group has entered the contest, and they're very honest about it. Like Brandon Sanderson, one of his students entered, and he recognized the story when he started to read it. So he wrote in and said, "I'm sorry, I have to forfeit judging this quarter because I recognize one of the authors." So.
And she turned out to be the grand prize winner that year. That was
Darcy Stone.
Darcy Stone, yeah.
Well, 34.
That's fantastic. That's great. Both times I told Nina right away because I knew she was going to have to recuse herself. But but the one thing I respect about the whole thing is how meticulous it is. It's the ethics of it are meticulous, and I think that makes everybody who doesn't win feel really good. It makes everybody who wins feel really good, because
Right.
I certainly wouldn't want to win because I knew one of the judges or something that they, you want to know that the outcome is solid, whatever the outcome is. So.
Yeah, that's right. And it is that way. So,
yeah.
The last 3 or 4 years we've been with them, we've been kind of opening it up for the world to see who they are. It's because I heard of Writers Future for a long time, but I knew who the hell they were. I was like, what do you do? What's a writers of a what? Come on, writing what? Because I'd actually been to several writing contests over the years, and John will tell you I was pretty hard on him, but I was disappointed every one I went to until I got to this one. And I'm not a nice person when I'm disappointed, especially if you fly me up to New York and I find out that the contestants are paying $500 and this, that, and the other things going on. Oh, and you can do a boost to get yourself higher up the thing by doing $750. It's like, what? Yeah, that kind of shit does not go over well with me. And then I can't help myself when I get on air. I'm like, okay, we got to talk about this. We got to talk. And I'm fair. I invite the people from the show, the people who ran it on. I said, well, you need to come on and explain to this. But most of them are like, no, that's okay. We don't want to talk about it. And they'll have 100, 150, 200 people. And I'm thinking, how much money are y'all making off of this? I went to one down in, actually it was in Miami. I was kind of like, I actually left in the middle of it. I said, I got to go. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I got to go. It's, they were just, it was such a big scam. And I was so disappointed because one of my things is I'm not a big reader like I was when I was younger, but it's, I'm big about literacy because I live in Louisiana and Mississippi, which are like as ass backwards as you can get when it comes to literacy. So I'm big on it and I push it real hard. So anytime I see people just wasting people's time, it just hacks me off. It just, so that's when he contacted me. I was like, what? No, I'm not buying none of this stuff, man. I'm just not. Mm-hmm. But I got to say, here we are 4 years later, and they've turned out to be exactly what I thought they were. Well, they turned out to be exactly what they said they were, to be a better way of saying it. Which is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, a rare damn thing these days.
But the history of it is pretty amazing. And that's what really drew me to it is, back in the 1930s and 40s, when you were writing for the pulp magazines and stuff, you had to write good stories. That had to be on merit as well, because if the kids and the people, they go to the newsstands and they would buy, and if they didn't sell, then the pulps wouldn't sell and they would get fired, and that was the way it was. So, and L. Ron Hubbard, back at that time, he was up in Alaska. And it was the first contest that he started there. And he was up there, it was 1940. Mm-hmm. He's in Ketchikan, Alaska. And he was he was on a local radio show, and KGBU radio show. And he started a contest called the Golden Pen, which was what he was giving out. And now the grand prize for the Writers of the Future is the Golden Pen Award. But and people would send their stories in, and then the prize at that time was they would get introduced to his agent. So even back then, he knew what it was like trying to get into the field. So, and after becoming such an established author himself, and then in the 80s when he started the Writers of the Future, he set it up in a way that it was able to just keep going and going. And I don't know if he had the vision that 40 years later it would still be going and have thousands of entries every quarter and be so big as it is now. But the way it's set up is amazing, because now, people go and they buy this Writers of the Future book, which I keep telling you to buy, but realize that the way the contest is set up is people buy the books, the royalties go to the estate, and the estate pays for the publishing of these new authors and getting them out here and launching these careers.
The contest flies everybody out. It pays for the big awards event, puts you up in the hotel. It's a really nice 3-4-star hotel in Hollywood.
So the way it's set up makes it so easy for us to continue it. And the more books we sell, then the more that we can do for the new authors. So it's pretty spectacular the way it all works, because people are like, well, that doesn't make sense. How could you have it be free to enter and you do all this stuff and fly them out? And it's because it's a self-circulating motion, because the more books that we sell and the more we promote it, and the more like book signings and shows and stuff that people go on, and the more visibility that we get, the more that we can do with the author. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And one thing too, because it was launched right after the release of Battlefield Earth, which I know, Joe, you've listened to, and you play that audio a couple times a year. That book has sold over 5 million copies now. But because of its success, he then went out, because he'd been out of the pulp fiction, because he'd been out of writing science fiction fantasy starting with 1950 when he published Dianetics. So up to that point, he had been part of what now known as the golden age of science fiction. Right. And so to celebrate 50 years as a writer, he wrote Battlefield Earth. And then he launched this thing. But he said in Battlefield Earth, he considered that science fiction was the herald of possibility. And so I think there's got to be some connection between that and the fact that he endowed this contest specifically for science fiction and fantasy. And you see it right now with all the crap and turmoil out there. You get something like these stories here, and they're uplifting. There's something that has a, they're real stories. They're based on personal experience. They're based on real life things, but it's science fiction, fantasy, and they're uplifting, and it forwards the arts. It forwards the storytelling ability. And Joe's beefed constantly about not having good storytellers out there, and so this is a good way to make sure he's got some good TV shows down there.
That's right. And I tell every one of these writers I meet this too. People, I'm happy to meet y'all. I hope y'all get famous. I can say I know this person, but give me something new, please. I just, well, there's just so much over and over, or remakes or reboots that I now, what I use TV for now? TV is something that comes on in my house around 1:30 in the morning, and I find something I've probably seen like 80 times, and I turn it on so I'll go to sleep. Because if it's anything interesting, I'm not going to go to sleep. So that's what TV's become. I spend more time, at my two jobs and on the internet than anywhere else these days. What's that, Carolyn Morrison. Carolyn, where did I know that name from? Oh, that's right. I did, Salt Lake City. I do. I remember meeting you there. Yes. You're the one who tried to talk me into talking, Tom. Anyway, what is your question? I remember you now. Yes, cosplay people are strange. That's all I can tell you. What is your question? I was going to ask her that. So anyway, I kind of know what it is, but she's wanting to know what your favorite genre is to write in. Is it fantasy? Is it sci-fi? Is it mix? Or
I tend to call myself a speculative fiction writer because then I'm hedging all my bets. But I really write fantasy. And so even when I have a vampire in a story, I don't write it as horror. I really write vampires as fantasy. I write dragons as fantasy. I've had I think I published this year, there's that story and another story with a vampire in it. And both of them are completely fantasy. And I think one of the things that makes with fantasy, I'm also an optimist. And so I feel really strongly about writing stories that they don't have to be sweet, or they don't have to be that they're, just too much, too much mush or something. But I want there to be a sense in the story that's in volume 39. I feel like the vampire makes two really important decisions. And one decision is she makes a decision not to kill, and that she's not going to eat. That's not how she's going to live anymore. That's not where she's going to get her life. It's from killing bad people and drinking them. And then the second is that she makes a decision to be human and to live. And I feel strongly I want to write stories that are about connection, and are about connection between beings, and also between humans and other beings, that, not just between humans and humans. And so, and that's where fantasy comes in a lot. But that I also, it's definitely fantasy. But I'm also am an optimist. I guess that's important.
And that's why I understand that you're such good friends with Nina.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nina is an optimist.
Yes.
Yeah. But I have to say, I loved, I didn't know what I was expecting, but the way you write dialogue is just so much fun. I don't know. I was very impressed with your dialogue, and
Thank you.
I was like, wow, whoever wrote this is super hip. Just hip.
What is Joe? Is Joe taking a selfie with it?
Yes, I don't have to, because all I got to do is click y'all for something for me. That's for somebody else, actually.
Are you taking a picture of the screen? Because
I was taking a picture of the four of us. Sorry.
Can you screen cap?
So,
I look like I'm
no. This was for somebody I was in a text message with.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
so yes. If I want to keep a picture, I just clip it off of here right now. I can just hit the button over here, take as many pictures as I want, or just wait till I'm done and just edit them whatever I want out of them.
I want to say something else about optimism. Can I say something?
No, feel free.
I think it's very hard to be a writer sometimes and get rejections. I think that whole, I want to say just around the time that I found out that I was a winner, like I had all these stories out and I was getting like 4 or 5 rejections a week because I had maybe 16 stories in the mail, which is amazing that I wrote 16 stories. But then they were like batting them back at me as quick as I pitched them out. It was just brutal. And so there's something about even the honorable mentions, which I joked about wanting to paper my room with, but it's really not like that at all. Because getting an honorable mention means somebody read your story and thought highly of it. And that's very important. And I think what you're saying, John, about, I think that fantasy and science fiction is so important for humanity. I think it's so important for how we envision ourselves. And I think it has a lot to do with how we treat people who are different than us, how we treat each other, how we treat the future, just all of these things. So if when you start to get discouraged, it's very hard to keep up sending the stories out, batting them back out again over and over. So anyway, I just think there is a way the contest functions in a really optimistic way that I think really uplifts writers' spirits, that they want to keep going.
Yeah.
So I have lots of friends who've gotten honorable mentions, and 2 editors have edited my work this year had honorable mentions.
Wow.
One, but they had honorable mentions.
Very nice.
Yeah, I did a show, or I did something recently. Oh, it was on I was a guest on a book blog radio show, a TV show, and I didn't know what to expect. And then it turns out that of the 3 hosts, 2 of them had already entered and received honorable mentions in the contest, and they were just like, they were fan geeking out about the Rise of the Future contest because they wanted to find out more about it and with the history in this. Mm-hmm. Like we were saying there was a very famous UK comedian named Delisa Chapanda. He was a semi-finalist or finalist in Britain's Got Talent, and he entered the contest. He received an honorable mention. He said it was up on his wall for years because it gave him that vote of confidence that he could write, and so he writes his own comedy. Brandon Sanderson, a very famous,
That's so funny.
A very famous fantasy author. He was ready to quit when he got his honorable mention in Writers of the Future and kept going. And Stephen King's son, Black.
Oh yeah, Joe Hill.
Joe Hill said, "Yeah, I entered. I've got an honorable mention." And he's.
We never know because it's blind judge. So people, when they enter
Right.
their stories, there's no name attached to it.
Right.
So we meet people sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, I entered that contest," and we're like, "You did?" And they were like, "Well, at one point they were qualified to." So.
Yeah.
Right. Because after a while, they might not be qualified to enter anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
40
Right.
years. That's like 3 generations right there. 4 generations of writers.
But I think it gives people something. It's so important because it was something like Clark's World accepts maybe 0.5% of all of the submissions. Like I just got accepted by Orion's Belt, which publishes 1 story a month. They publish 1 story a month. They picked my story. That's a big, so I feel like that's a big deal, but I feel like the thing to keep sending the stories out, you do need sometimes to just get a little bit of, just someone to say you're doing a good job. And I know that I heard Jody Lynn Nye say, those honorable mentions are not easily won. They mean everyone is meant as it's a good story. And that means a lot to people.
Yeah, we see a press release sometimes once every 2 weeks. So you just saw one yesterday, the day before.
Yeah, press releases from people or their publicist about that they got an honorable mention in Writers of the Future, and we're like, "Oh, okay."
When they it's a release press release about a novel they just did. I won an honorable mention in Writers of the Future as well as part of their CV.
Y'all
That's
gonna make me
cool.
violent here. I can see it coming. Y'all gonna make me violent. Stop it. Damn it. I don't like honorable mentions. I'm saying it again. Damn.
I know. Then we'll stop. Okay, we won't ever mention it.
I've gotten 4 of them on People's Choice now, and I'm like, all right, that's enough of that.
Actually, you got finalist.
Okay, same
Right?
difference. Yes.
No?
No, we go. No, that's not true.
Big difference.
On UFO on the Cover and The Centralist, we got honorable mention.
Oh.
We have finalists on everything else. Yeah, we've been in it every year. But we've been in it every year, but I'm like, I want to win. I don't like losing people. I don't like losing people. Whatever. I'm gonna be a 5-year-old, but I don't like losing. I want to win. People better get your ass out there. But I understand. Well, 5 million people voted last year. So John and I and some of the other hosts who made it on the network. I mean, it is nice to know that out of 5 million people, we had enough people to get up to the top of the pack. But
Yeah.
still, it's not the same as winning people.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And the voting starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, the 1st of July.
Where did they go?
Peopleschoice.com.
Exactly.
How do you vote for this thing? That's what you're trying to.
Yes,
I mean,
starting in the
this
morning,
thing
it'll
on?
be on the website. So
Yeah, so it's
Exactly.
podcastawards.com, and it'll be on Joe's website too. And I'm going to have
it'll actually start being mentioned on every show on the network starting the day before 4th of July. So everybody will be broadcasting it, along with some other new commercials that are coming on to the network. Y'all will get to hear from 3 different companies we got coming in this month. So, what's that, Denise? Why you always ask if people a Star Trek fan? Are you a Star Trek fan?
Me?
Me?
No,
Yeah.
you, Mary. Are you a Star Trek fan?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, ever since poor David got was it David that they thought he looked like Spock?
Oh, Jason Palmentier. Yeah.
Yes. They kept on him
Jason.
all night about him looking like Spock. I was like, people, he's not here to be looking like Spock. What the hell's going on here? It's like he looks like the Spock from Heroes. Yeah. They thought he looked like the guy from Heroes in the Spock in the movie. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't argue
The
with
guy
them when they get
in
in there.
Heroes was so awful. But anyway, I like.
That was good. I love that. It's
That's funny.
Okay, so I'm going to vote for Deep Space Nine.
yes, Deep Space Nine was fun. Right now I'm watching Strange New World, so we'll see how it goes. Discovery, I just didn't like. Let me rephrase that. I didn't think it was Star Trek. I like to find a sci-fi, just not a Star Trek. I couldn't deal with the 30th century stuff. But Clara Bell Watson, and where are you from, Miss Clara Bell Watson? What is with these names, man? Is this your real name? Well, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's rude.
I apologize. Well, because y'all get some crazy names in this group sometimes. Anyway, Clarabelle, where you at? Where? Oh, yeah, I know where you at. Seattle, Washington. I know the part you're in. I got a friend that lives up there. Yes, a friend of mine who's a member of the UN lives up there. Mm-hmm. So, what you got for us? Double hand writers. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh no. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the whole thing. So. She's wanting to know what what is your favorite way of writing? Do you write on a pad, on your computer? Do you write old school or?
I go back and forth. I write a lot in a notebook, and then I put everything on the computer. And then when I get stuck, I go back to the writing by hand. So especially when I'm revising, I go back and forth a little bit to get past that stuck part.
Okay, Miss Watson, was that significant for sufficient there, ma'am? I'm not believing that's your real name. I think that's like some pen name or something. No, something about your text just seems familiar to me.
What's your name, Clarabelle?
Clarabelle Watson.
Isn't that like everybody in New Orleans? I mean, it's like
I don't know. No, but she's out west. She's from Seattle.
My daughter just texted me, so I asked her where she used to work in Metairie. I'm wondering if she'll tell me the rest of the name of the restaurant.
There's a lot of good restaurants. I mean, ooh, man, there's a lot of good restaurants.
She worked at a couple. She was a server in New Orleans, I think for a few years. So.
Yeah, a friend of mine the other day wanted to go hit the top 10 restaurants. I said, we'll either be in a poorhouse or we'll be dead, whichever came first. That food is entirely too rich.
How to get those donut things?
Oh, that was Cafe Du Monde. in City Park.
I've been there.
Yeah, I took him to the one in City Park, and the one that stays open 24 hours, and you can watch the ghosties go by in the early mornings and stuff. Oh, people, that park is, look, they got Dueling Oaks is right there. They got so much crap floating around in that park. I don't even like to go out there at night. It can be spooky wooky out there. It can get a little weird. What do you mean Kickstarter? That was David Head was talking about the Kickstarter. Yes. I didn't even know what Kickstarter was until I met this group of people. I really didn't. I had no idea what it was. I forgot who was on.
Anderson too. That was the 42 million.
Yeah, he broke Kickstarter.
I think he made it famous. Is what he did. Yeah. He made it. I'll ask her, Stephanie. She's just wanting to know any websites, any place they can find you, any emails. I know we're getting close to.
We got some ghosts in
there. Can I give you my email?
Yeah, she said they were asking an email or anything. Yeah, anything you want to give them.
Okay, what is there some place I can I type it?
Yes, you can. You can put it in the chat group with us and
in the private chat. Here, let's try this.
Yeah, you can put it in the regular comments. Yeah, put it in the regular comments because when we stop, it'll publish it on both the YouTubes and all the Facebook pages. It'll post it there, and it'll stay there until somebody else's shows knock it down later on.
You can definitely find her story at writersofthefuture.com on Writers of the Future Volume 39.
It's right here. Is that what you're talking about? Yes.
Okay, there's my website.
Yeah, so there you go, people. It's you know what? I'll add it into the.
Thank you.
And let's go back over here.
I keep a page with all my publications on my website. And then there's some that you can read for free. This one that's coming out soon in Orion's Belt, you can read for free, which is great.
Yeah.
There you go, people. We added it into the ticker. It's also going to be on the Facebook and YouTube pages, so you can find it there as well. Just click and go. Check it out.
Yeah, the story that was my first finalist story got published. It was like my second, so that got published right after it was a finalist. And that's still available online, which is sort of exciting.
Yes.
But
so how you like this new fame and fortune? And, how do you like this?
Okay,
it's gotta be good.
Fame, this fame is kind of like iffy, and the fortune, I have to tell you, is not happening. So,
I know fortune myself. I understand.
But I have to say that I like writing, and I like the writing community, and I feel like I have been just a lucky girl. I mean, it's just amazing. The people I've been meeting, I feel like my stories have landed well and that they've found good homes. I joke that I feel like sometimes my stories are like puppies and I really care about where they go to live. And I feel like I've almost all found good homes. So that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
That is
one thing too, I think the audience should check out too is you had on recently the grand prize winner for Writers Future 39, who is 69 years old, soon to be 70.
Yeah.
He turned 70. Here we got Marianne, who's in the, like she said, she's not a young chick.
So maybe 45 or something.
Yeah.
So it's something that anybody that has fancied a career wanting to write, you don't have any restrictions because the judges, all they're going to see is the story and a number. They have no idea of your age, of your nationality, your ethnic, your sex, anything. It's just, can you write a good story or not? And so when we get the list saying these are the winning numbers, then we see who it is, and then we know how old they are and what countries they're from and all that stuff. So everybody it's a total level playing field. So we don't play to somebody like, well, we need younger people because of some arbitrary or, it's just for somebody.
We just need good stories.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's people can have a second career and like, I've always wanted to be a writer. Well, here you go. This is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that sometimes, like for instance, the grand prize winner, there's a lot of strength in coming from another background and then applying and then coming into writing, that you actually have this breadth of experience. I think all of that's helpful. Like in some ways, being older, if you're going to go to an interview or somebody's a publisher and they're going to say, we want young blood, they might say something like that. But
Yeah.
in truth, people who have life experience or sitting down to write a story, they have that as a benefit.
Yep.
Sure.
That's right.
It's what's
So
that, Janine?
if you want to write, you know where you can submit and stand a good chance.
WritersOfTheFuture.com.
And if you have a story right now, right now it's
WritersOfTheFuture.com.
That's right.
The this quarter, the contest for this quarter is over tonight at midnight
Oh,
Pacific
Los
time,
Angeles, yeah.
Los Angeles time. So that means if you're in the East Coast, it's 3 a.m. But if you've got a story,
Under 17,000 words?
submit it.
Send it
Submit it
on
to
over.
Writers of Science Fiction or Fantasy. Submit it. Go to writersofthefuture.com, enter a writer contest or enter illustrator contest, and you can submit. It's free to enter. And we've got many stories, including Wolf Moon, who submitted his story in the last hour of the last day of the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he won on that. We have Dean Wesley Smith.
mhm.
He got in the mailbox just as at the last day, just before the post office closed.
Right.
You know, and he was able to get it submitted. So, and he got published, and he was the first person to be awarded. So,
Mhm.
it's definitely not. It's not too late until the clock strikes 12 in Los Angeles.
There y'all go, people. GalaxyPress.com if you want to get a book. WritersOfTheFuture.com if you want to submit. If you want to take the course, WritersOfTheFuture.com.
So here's the plan. So you get your story and you submit it tonight before midnight. And then as soon as midnight rolls over, you go to People's Choice Podcast Awards and then vote for the
The
podcast.
damn right.
As soon as then you go to the website, you go to galaxypress.com and you buy Writers of the Future Volume 39. And then after that, you can go to bed.
Yes. In that order, too, people.
Glad we have a plan.
That's what I'm saying. It's
That's happy ending over here.
That's great.
okay. Well, we'll get two more questions and we can get out of here. Wait. What question for who? No, you got the wrong show tonight. Sorry. There ain't no aliens in the
Maybe
room with
you'll
us.
Enter it anyway.
That's what this. Or you mean illegal aliens? You definitely got the wrong show tonight. That's another night. Yeah, that's for sensualist. That's not tonight. What do you mean illegal? Like no. I know what you're talking about. That's still not tonight. Mike had written in earlier about buying books based on covers because we were talking about this quite a lot with a few guests coming on. Now you see, when I seen the artwork for yours, I would have to pick up the book because of the artwork. Now I've said this a few times. I have bought a few books over the years, more than I should have, based on the cover. Some of them turned out to be really, really, really good, and some of them were like, "Can I get my money back now?" so the cover is important. I understand that. Of course, if you want to be famous or you want to make it, of course, what's inside is going to be more important than the cover is. But still, all the stories in 39 were good. They had quite a few of them had some humor to them or some underlying humor to them. It was just a good read. So just pick it up. It's easy. If you live in one of the illiterate states, it's really easy where it's got big words and stuff. So, I'm just teasing. I'm out. I don't have any more to give away. Not until later in the year. No, it's no, we're not giving away no 39s until Christmas. So you're going to have to buy them if you want them now. Again, it's 4th of July. Buy the book, share it with your friends. You should buy, you know what? You should buy 39 for every friend who's coming over for your 4th of July party. And y'all could have like a read around while you're blowing up, the skies. Yeah, that works for me. No, I don't get a commission. What? Whatever, Christopher. You lost your mind. You should get it. I don't have any to get away. And the two I got are autographed. You're not getting those. And these are special autographs. These have people who didn't get the autograph while they were doing the big autograph. And then they also have family members autographed inside.
Well, Books A Million has some autographed copies. If you got any Books A Million near where you live, you get autographed books there.
That's right.
And then
There you go.
Noble has it, but
Yeah,
bam, Books A Million has. They specifically bought 300 autographed, but they worked out a deal with us to get all the winners to sign books. So we shipped 300 books to Books A Million.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Oh, Denise, I know where you're at. You're up there in Toronto. You're one of them crazy Canadians. It's
well, the books are there in Indigo.
No, I know where you're at because we got hosts that live. We got hosts that live all over Canada. Yeah, from one end of the side of the planet
Denise,
to the
I'm
other side.
Canadian too. Hi.
No, she's not Canadian anymore. She's Los Angeles now. We ain't no Canadian. She been Canadian rejected now. She's Americanized Los Angeles girl now. She goes back to Canada and goes, who the hell are you, girl? You don't even sound right anymore. There ain't no A's and stuff.
I don't say A anymore.
That's right. No, actually, Amelia and Michelle don't either. Maybe because they live near Niagara Falls. They've been Americanized. Poor Canadians were Americanized now. You didn't even know it. No, I love picking on Canadians, but I have a lot of friends up there. We have a big audience in Canada. Yes, we do. We have a lot of people who listen up there, all over the country, and places. And then I love when we see places like this. Some place outside of Saskatchewan is this little bitty village I've never even heard of before. It's got like 2 listeners in it. I'm sure in the wintertime they probably can't even listen because it snows over the top of their damn house. No, it's great. There's a lot of great people up there. There are a lot of good friends. That's Dave Scott. That's who you're talking about, Spaced Out Radio. Yeah, he's on later tonight. Mm-hmm. He's fun. He's nuts, but he's fun. Somebody dropped him on his head when he was a baby, but stuff happens. He's a Canadian. What do you expect? Somebody kicked him or something. I don't know. I know. I'm sorry. He is. He's crazy. I can't help it. He's a good host, but he's an insane host. Yes, he is. But speaking of Marianne, he likes authors too. I was thinking about that. We have several hosts on the network like Jeffrey Pritchard. He's an author himself, so he loves talking to authors. He's insane. I thought I was going to kill him one night. He does. He tries to do an author a week. Actually, that's his preferred. Especially if it's fantasy or sci-fi or a cross between. That's his favorite genres to do them in. And he's got his one of his co-hosts is she's a retired English teacher from New York, professor. Actually, I'm sorry. If you listen, Carol, I didn't mean to call you a teacher. I apologize. Do not sour at me. Yes, she's a serious PhD professor, so I don't want to. You're the one that goes by Wham, by the way, so not me. Yes, but she's a lot of fun to talk to. We got a couple other good hosts up there, but no, Americans are not allowed in Canada anymore. I'm sorry. Yes, no, I'm just kidding. Really, one more question. Come on, spit it out. I see you've been texting, going Jojo for 10 minutes. You forgot your question, really? I'm sorry. There's like a stream of JoJo this long. Is she going to be? Oh, I'm sorry. There is a question behind all that. You want to know if you're going to be doing any book signings anytime this year. Virtual book signings. I've never seen a virtual. How the hell does that work?
She just did one last week.
Actually,
I don't know.
didn't I?
Well, I don't know what a virtual book signing is. You'll have to explain to the non-book writer guy here.
Kind of like what we're doing right now, but it's hosted by a bookstore.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, there y'all go. Mm-hmm.
And they have a link, and people go buy books.
Yeah, see, there you go.
That's right. That was a book signing. I was just feeling so sad because I was going to say no because I am I'm semi-isolating. So as you can see, since I'm here in a dark room all by myself with my cat. But
I don't blame you. It's
that
crazy.
was a virtual book signing, and it was great.
Yeah.
But there y'all go. See, virtual book signing. I didn't even know. What can I tell you?
That was for the one that has all the signed books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what was it for?
That was the Books A Million.
Books A Million. Yeah, that's what you said earlier. The Books A Million.
You were on the Book Bungalow event as the Book Bungalow one last week.
Oh wait, then I did Book Bungalow. I did that's right, that was 2. So I've done 2.
Yeah.
See, there y'all go. Y'all missing out, people. Y'all need to catch up.
You got to go to Writers of the Future Facebook page and see when all these events are happening.
Because TJ Knight and Jason
Palmatier,
and I, the 3 of us, because we were all from the 4th quarter.
Yeah, your 4th quarter winner.
What also nice is the 2 of them arranged that interview.
Yeah.
And then TJ Knight, Dustin, who's also called Dustin, who is a saint. He's just like the sweetest man in the world. And he said, we should have Marianne come because she didn't get to go to the ceremony. So he like corralled me into that, and we got to do it with the 3 of us. And I loved hearing them talk about their work. I hadn't had a chance to before, so that was really great. They're both
Yeah,
so.
they're a lot of fun too. I've interviewed
Yeah.
both of them twice. They're a lot of fun. What was that? No. Oh no. You're thinking of a whole different thing. Sorry, guys. Y'all are. I don't know. It's like there's like 3 different groups in here tonight. It's weird. It's really weird. No, John and Emily will be down in Florida at the end of July. If you want to stop by and see them.
So if people want to catch John and I, will be in at San Diego Comic-Con, July, I think it starts 19th or 20th, 20 to 23rd, San Diego Comic-Con. You have to already have had a ticket in advance in order to get into that one, but we will be there. And then we will be right after that in Tampa Bay Comic-Con. And then about a month later, well, we have a couple of our guys, not John and I, but they're going up to FanX in Toronto in August. And then we'll be at DragonCon in Atlanta at the end of August, early September. And then I think it's the second week in September, we'll be in Salt Lake City FanX. So.
Well, I'm going to try to catch up while they're in Tampa, and I'll definitely see them in Atlanta.
That'd be great. Yeah.
No, I'm going in incognito, people. I'm going to shave my beard and my mustache. Y'all ain't going to know who the hell I am. No glass on my head. Y'all think, oh, what? Y'all won't even know. I'll put contacts in. I'll even change color. I'll put some blue contacts instead of green. Y'all be walking around. Who the hell is this guy? Yeah, see? Mm-hmm.
Put on a robe and carry a hammer and be like, I'm Thor.
Right. It's actually, Denise, I do shave my beard off every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, probably every 10 years or so. Be honest with you, for a long time, people thought I was a cop because I didn't wear a beard, didn't have a ponytail. Everybody always thought I was a cop. I swear, people always thought I was a cop or work for. And then a lot of people always tell me,
yeah, because you always carry Martha with you.
Well, I do carry Martha with me a lot, but people still today I get all the time. You work for the Fed, don't you? You one of them black ops guys? Oh no, you're probably Men in Black. I'm like, Jesus. Last 2 times I was going coast to coast, it was like, you're the guy in charge of military abductions, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, sure. Where's my freaking paycheck? I'll take the job. I just want a paycheck is all I'm saying. Look, and Denise, Jackie, we're getting ready to leave. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. I wish the station's revenue was that. Yes, I do. I don't know where that came from. There's 5 or 6 sites now that carry us and say what our revenue is, and it's not what our revenue is. I'm not going to get into what it is, but, it's not. If it was, I'd be freaking retired. Yes, I'd just go visit John every once in a while. I'd be traveling, people. I'm just telling y'all. Yes, I'd be traveling. You can take that to the bank. Any other part words before we let you get out of here, Ms. Xenos? Did you have fun with the? I'm the only nice one here. I'm the sweet guy. See, I'm the innocent one too. Yes, I can't speak for these two over here now.
I think Marianne is the sweet one.
Well, she don't count. She's the guest. All the guests are always the sweet ones. That's just how it works.
I had a lot of fun. Yes. I really did. This was really nice of you to have me. And it was great to come and talk about writing and optimism. And
what's great the show that he puts it up on his SoundCloud page. So this will be live. So people can then, if they miss it tonight, they can listen to it. You can tell people to listen to it starting tomorrow.
Fantastic.
There's over 1 million people been listening to the show tonight. I just checked that Roku channel a few minutes ago. There's 18,000 people watching you on television right now on Roku. Mm-hmm. And people hate when I tell them that. They're like, yeah. But you see, they get to see your lovely face. Actually, TV, it's a great thing. And people love us on Roku over there. I was surprised how fast it took off. Still not as fast as I'd like to see, but still it's growing. Yeah, so it's nice to be on TV there.
So the last thing I'd like to say then is get this book, get it either at Amazon or go to Barnes & Noble or get it at BAM.
Hi, Emily.
You can also download Marianne's story from the audio book for free. You go to either writersofthefuture.com or my personal Facebook page, or John Goodwin, or
it's on my Facebook page too.
Oh, good. And I also put it on
everybody's Facebook page now.
The show's Facebook page here. I just put it up on that as well, so you can download it there and listen. It's just you will totally
so much fun.
You'll just have so much fun listening to this story. It's
the stories are good. no, just go listen to her story, and it'll give you an idea what else you can listen to when you buy the book.
Exactly. And don't forget, there's a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Which
Chihuahua.
is very important.
And
Yeah.
you've seen my Chihuahua, so y'all know how that can be. My Chihuahua get vicious sometimes, man.
And mine said Louisiana Chihuahua.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're even more vicious because they got that alien vampire blood in them.
And
All
then
right.
at midnight tonight, go to podcastawards.com and sign up. It costs nothing to register and vote then for Rise to the Future, vote for UFO Undercover, vote for Central.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be playing them in a few minutes. They'll get to hear them. Darlene, you're down for Essence Fest? Is that what you're down for? So you want to get bit by one of the vampires? So listen, this is Anne Rice's stuff. This is not me personally, okay? And this is before her, but this is in some of her books. So the vampires wander around through the big festivals while everybody's getting drunk and doing drugs. And what they do, they just take a nip so they can catch a buzz and enjoy themselves with the rest of the crowd. That's Anne Rice's writing. She also believes that Antoine's, the guy you see on the wall when you walk in Antoine's, which goes back about 180 years, 200 years, is the same guy. And he does look a lot like the same guy. It's just different dresses. Just, they're just painted differently as it becomes more and more modern. So that's what she believes. So if you're down in the quarter, be aware that somebody might take a little nip just to catch a buzz. Just thought I'd warn y'all ahead of time. You'd have asked me. It's very strange in the French Quarter after midnight. That's all I can tell y'all. It has a different feel because it's one of the few cities in the United States that's that old. And it can be really creepy too, but it can be exhilarating at the same time. But go down and enjoy Essence Fest while you're down there. There's Barnes and Noble's right around the corner down there. Stop in, get 39. They're open till they're closed now, but they'll be open in the morning. But you can get them in the morning. Actually, there's a Barnes and Nobles down there. No, there's another big bookstore, but most of the bookstores down there are smaller bookstores that carry exclusives. But I had talked with Frank and Jimmy. They got one on Royal. I'd asked them if they'd pick up a couple of copies and put it in there. A lot of people go through them stores. We're going to get out of here, guys and girls. Again, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. See, again, I'm the nice and sweet one here. Yes, if y'all believe that, I got some new land right down the road from my house down here. It's not covered in water or anything yet. I mean, it's right down the road. Yeah, there we go. No, we're getting ready to play the commercials. I'll get to hear all four of them except for John and I will play first, and then the other two will play afterwards. I think Jay's coming back next week. He's been feeling good. I haven't talked to the other Emily lately. She's been, she got a new job. She's been preoccupied. Yes, you know how it is when you start a new job and you're the boss. Yes, it's besides, that's Michelle's job anyway. I don't keep up with the host anymore. That's her job. Yes, she does, and she does a damn good job of it too. She just calls me and cusses me every once in a while. I don't know why I volunteered to do shit. I'm like, Michelle, God, I hate you. Michelle, you love me. It's a lot of work, people. I think we have 36 hosts currently on the network.
Wow.
And growing every day. So, and it's a lot of egos to deal with. Well, she don't have to deal with mine because I just do my own thing, but she got to deal with everybody else's. Yeah, egos are egos. Sometimes egos just don't get along, or sometimes egos think they can get away with stuff they can't. No, John's a sweetie. His shows, he produces his own show. I don't have to worry about John. It just pops up at 4:00 and goes on Mondays. Yeah, he's part of the Monday lineup with who's after him? Laura Lee. Yeah, Angel Rock follows him. That's who follows him. Followed by Horsefly Chronicles. Followed by Preston Dennett's new show. Yes, Preston Dennett and Dolly. Yeah, Dolly's on it too. Names it's light. I don't know. It's just drawing a blank in my head. You should have come check it out. It's a good lineup. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, following them at the end is Crazy Dave Scott with Spaced Out Radio. There you go. That's your Monday line. Oh, wait, I forgot one. It's actually a show before John. It's You Heard It Here First. Yes, it's a music show, so you can check it out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun Monday. Mm-hmm. Wednesday are for special people. We only allow special people to listen on Wednesday. Yes, you have to be a lifelong listener to listen. I'm sorry, we're strict. We only got about 6 or 7 million people listening on Wednesday, so we're very strict about who gets to come on. I'm just kidding. Again, you can catch them. Well, you're by Salt Lake City. Catch them when they're in Salt Lake. Stop by and say hi.
Yeah.
Yep.
again, this question gets asked every week. You cannot give them the book. You have to send it in. Writersofthefuture.com. Yeah, I don't care what part of the planet you're on.
Yeah, it's really easy to upload. Just writersofthefuture.com is a portal you upload, and it's simple.
What do you mean? Why are they snobbing on Europe? Why are y'all snobbing on Europe?
We're not.
Goodwins.
We got entries from over 180 countries.
He's
No,
saying we're not going to conventions over there.
Oh,
yes,
why-
we don't go. You're snobbing them.
It's a little pricier, but we will. We were going to them before the pandemic. We will be
Before
at
prices went out.
Okay, we'll be at Frankfurt Book Fair. That's not really a convention. We also have in September we have South Africa Comic Con, but we're not personally attending. We have a rep out in South Africa who will be attending because we're gonna. It's a conflict. We'll be another convention at the same time. So there.
Yeah, see, there you go. They love y'all overseas. You know I love y'all overseas. Shit, that's 2/3 of my audience. I love all of y'all. Oh yes, and I know what is it? It's 10:45 here. So from my European assessment, London. So if you're in London right now, it is what 5 a.m. Huh? Thanks for staying up and listening.
You're from UK. We had, I think, three
winners this
in
year.
volume 39. We have a judge that lives there, Mike Perkins.
Yeah,
We've got
it's,
another judge that lives in Spain.
they don't care where. Honestly, guys, they don't care where you submit from. If you win, they're going to fly you in. Oh,
Yeah.
no, they fly people from Australia. What are you talking about? And he was crazy, by the way. And they still flew him in. Chris is a good guy, but no, I'm serious. Yeah, I know that's what I said. He's in Poland. I haven't talked to him lately. I was supposed to talk to him. I keep forgetting. I got to write to him because we were going to do something a while back, and I just forgot. No, we got hung up on that Ukrainian. We got 2 guys in Ukraine right now. I still got people in Wuhan telling me stuff.
We have a Ukrainian judge who actually was out here for the Vol 39 event this year.
Mr. Can't Sit Still for 2 minutes. I was going to change his name, man. That man got ants in his pants. I'm just like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
But we just got word that we have 2 winners that just came in.
Oh yeah, for Vol 40, there's a Chinese winner and a Vietnamese winner. So
Damn, there we go. Well, y'all had good Asian media this year too.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One little girl was in South Korea, and what was the other one from? I don't remember now, but I know
South Korea,
Romania.
Romania. She's going to come in this new year because she couldn't make it out this last. We have to get a visa for her, and one from China. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I got to go check on my visa. I'm glad you said that. Damn. Yes, people, I'm leaving. They let me out of the country every once in a while. What can I tell you? They're probably hoping I don't come back. Really, just stay in Canada somewhere. I actually have to go to Mexico City this year and to Toronto later this year. I'm going to cause mischief in Canada.
Uh-oh.
Yes, actually, I'm going up when it has nothing to do with the radio station or anything like that. It's they're doing a documentary on me, and part of it's going to be done in Canada. Yes, I can't tell you. Unfortunately, it's not top secret, but it just has something to do with some of the research I do. Yes, and there'll be some hypnosis involved too. I'm going to hypnotize Canada to become part of the United States. Y'all are now a state.
Very funny.
Somebody got to go hypnotize Trudeau. That man is like on Mars or somewhere. I think he's been talking to Elon too much. No, really. Actually, we're going to try to kill 2 birds with one stone because there is a conference going to be going on when I'm up there, and I was asked to speak, so I might actually go speak. If it doesn't interfere with the hypnosis sessions that are set up, I'll probably go speak. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. No, I'm only going to be doing hypnosis for those 2 cases, nothing else. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of time, and I have really strict rules when it comes to hypnosis. Yes, and I also run voice stress while I'm doing hypnosis. Yes, I do. I learned voice stress from a state trooper a long time ago. Then I took a course, and I'm really good at it. And 2 of my companies I work for sent me to learn voice stress, facial recognition, body language. Yeah, I tell people all the time, don't lie to me. It's a waste of time. It's just
the fodder to write stories. I'm telling you.
I need to know all of this stuff, man.
Yeah.
The
you
more
just need to start writing, Joe.
I would. Volume right number. So speaking of this, before we go, guys and girls, I've told her this a million times, and all the other writers get a kick out of this. Somewhere along the line, probably 2 years from now, this thing will be finished. It'll probably be 150, 165,000 words. I'm sending it to Emily. That's who's getting it. She's getting the damn thing. What do you mean? Am I going to give it to my family read? No, because they'll lie to me anyway. See, Emily won't lie. She's like, "What, Joe? Really? Wait, were you smoking something this particular? I can hear her now." Actually, it's some of it's good. Some of it, I'm sure, needs attention. Editing, oh my God, we don't even want to go there. Grammar. I've been out of school for like 40 years, people. My grammar is not the best. Thank God for grammar check. No, so
Joe speak.
So it's thank God that I can speak. It's no, it's about an 11-day event that happened in Gulf Breeze, Florida. I'm about 3.5 days into it. It's not that it's not meant to be a long story. It's just for some reason or another, going through what actually happened each day is taking up way more space and time than I thought it was going to. Well, no, because of them. No. So you want to really know. So riseofthefuture.com, go take the course and win and go meet all these judges, because from sitting into these classes, I've actually understood now why I couldn't write in the beginning, because people have been asking me to write something, documentary, anything since I started doing research 35, 38 years ago. I'm not a writer. So because of them and sitting through these classes, I started understanding why I was having so much trouble. One, I didn't even know what the proper things I needed was even called, much less where the hell they should be and how you should install them. And I've had the benefit of just hanging out with them. I've actually learned quite a lot. Yes, I've learned things like, how to fill things in places. Well, because if I wrote a book just out of my head, it would just be like, it'd be more like a schematic than even a documentary. It would be. But because of these guys and sitting through these classes, I've actually learned. And then thanks to what's her name with her little throw the dice and let's write a book thing, I wrote a little side book with it. It's
wasn't that
Nina? You're talking about Nina.
Yeah, so I'm talking about it. And and that was great, by the way. I did, when I first heard her saying, I was like, she's crazy. And then I actually started listening, because I was off doing something else right now. I started listening. I said, well, this sounds really interesting. That's why I asked her at the end of the class if she'd give me one and give me the papers that went with it. Oh, no, no, Christian. You mean a copy of mine? I'll give it to my son. I'm in the right. He really has a knack for it, yes. No, I've seen him write many articles, and he has a knack for it. Like his dad has a gift for gab, he has a gift to write. He's just, I don't know. I keep asking him to submit something to these guys. I said, use a different name. You might have a chance of winning. He's like, what? I said, you might need a pen name, man. No, but really and truly, because of them and the stuff I learned at writersofthefuture.com. So I took the course twice. I haven't did the last part where you got to write the thing. It's a really, you learn a lot. And there's some really good people you can listen to on there that are really, they're really famous to start off with, but unless you're just not understanding what's going on. But there's just a lot there you can learn. And then if you can win, this will really help boost your career for sure. Mm-hmm. And if you can get there and meet these people, there's information there that you're just not going to get anywhere else. Let me rephrase that. It's information that you're going to get there that are given to you by people that actually care that they're giving you the information. I think that to me was the biggest surprise of all of this when I started meeting these judges who are giving up their time to come down here and do this. These are writers and illustrators that have careers, and some of them have pretty damn big careers. And they're coming down here and they're giving their time and they're sitting here. Probably their questions has been asked to them 50 million times and they're answering the question, and you're learning. Or they're breaking something apart so you can understand it better. Or they get back to gabbing back and forth with each other so you can understand there's more than one side. Oh yes, they don't always agree. The judges don't always agree.
It's funny when they don't.
Jody and Tim Powers are hilarious to listen to. And the first year I got to listen to Dean and Todd. That was they were freaking cracking me up, man. I couldn't stop. I had to leave because I wanted to disrupt the class. No, that's what I mean. So you can go learn. You can get there, and if you can win, you can get there and you can meet these people, and you'll Really, I mean, it's going to round you out in a way you're just not going to get just by sitting there writing all the time. I'm just trying to help y'all out. What do you mean if I won? I'm not going to ever win. But even if I did, I would say that's cool. Y'all give it to somebody else. It would be a fluke, man. Let's just be honest about it. No, and I'm not even going to try to draw. But we got to go. We're keeping this poor lady here. She's probably got a life saying, "Come on, people, let me get out of here." She's got to go feed the were chihuahua as well.
Is the cat right behind you?
Yeah, the cat's behind me. Every now and then you can see her eyes shining.
Yeah, I saw the eyes.
It's a vampire cat, people.
A little bit of white in her paws.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's 5 minutes of midnight here.
Yes, we're gonna let you get out of here. I gotta get these two out of here because I know they're always got work they got to do too. But guys and girls, y'all can check her out. She's all over. All of her information will be pasted either on our YouTube page. It'll also be up on the UPRN Talk Radio, the news site tomorrow because I'll be posting stuff tomorrow on the site. Any moans, bones, bitches, gripes, or complaints, write to Michelle DeRoche. Yes. Yes. No, I'm serious. Don't write to me. Write to Michelle because you write to me, I'm gonna write back and say write to Michelle. So just be sure you know what you're talking about when you write to her. She don't play, man. That's why she's the boss, and that is true. Before I go, I will say that rumor is true. She is the boss, and she has complete realm to fire, hire. She doesn't have to ask me, tell me, or anything else along the line. So for the hosts that get themselves in trouble, I can't save your ass. That's all I can tell you. I don't babysit any people who work for me. That's I don't want to have people who work for me that I got to babysit. No, I'm too old for that. I got things I want to do. I'm 60 years old. I want to go out and get in trouble and stuff.
You want to win? You want to win a podcast award?
Yeah, and I definitely want to win a damn podcast award.
Marianne, it's been
great seeing you here.
Yeah, Marianne, it has been.
Yeah.
It's been a delight. Thank you so much. Joe, thank you.
No, it's great. Anytime, and I'll extend the offer to any, like all of the writers of future people, whether you're an illustrator or a host, or a writer, you get into something new out. If you can't remember who I am, get hold of John or hit Carmen up, and anybody can get you booked or scheduled, or you have my email now, so you can always just write me and say, hey, I got something new coming out.
Yeah.
Or or if you put something together that you want to try to sell, come on. I have no idea. We've never tried selling books on this network before, so we don't know how that's going to go. We've sold a lot of other stuff, so I'm hoping as we organize our programs more towards this, it'll be a better thing. People, but no, galaxypress.com if you want to buy something. Yeah, galaxypress.com. Writers of the Future is where you submit or take the course.
Right.
What do you mean? No, Emily is not over there teaching the course. She got other things to do.
She has to edit your book.
I produced
right.
it, but I'm not teaching on it.
When she gets this 250,000 words, this next 2 years of her life, she's going to be. No, she's not. Okay, we got to go. All right, look, people. All right, we'll just round it out to the 3 minutes.
Play our commercials.
Yes. So real quick, if by any chance you get to meet the Goodwins, go meet them. They're great people. They're very nice people. They're very hardworking people. Be sure to check them out. Buy a book. If you happen to go there and you meet him, be sure to buy a book. If you're not, there's a girl called Sarah. I'm just warning you ahead of time. Buy the book from John or Emily. You'll be much better off. If Sarah gets hold to you, there might be 3-4 books for you to get out of there. So
you'll have a stack of books.
Yeah, she'll be walking around like, yes,
She's
that's what
good.
I say.
She's
go
good.
see Emily or John, and that way you get your 39. Well, if you've never run any of the anthologies, if you've never even heard of this before, start with 39 and work your way backwards.
Yeah.
That's my back recommendation. That's what I did. I think I'm on 26 now. So I've been going backwards, and it's weird to read them going down because you can tell that the different way people were thinking and the different time and period when these books were written.
Right.
It's great. I mean, really, if y'all can do it that way, that's the way I do it. You can. They have deals on Galaxy Press, 5 books at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good deal too. Yes, I bought a couple of them over the years. No, it's a good deal. Go over there and get it. Yeah, go over there and get it. That's what I do. Well, we're getting close to holidays now. We're only 6 months away from Ho-Ho. Ho-Ho's coming. And yes, we will be giving lightsabers away this year again. Yes, we will be. Yes, we're going to be giving a lot of stuff. But anyway, on that note, we got to go and thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Be sure to come by every week so y'all will be listening to us play you out. For all the people who were looking for Space Out Radio. They'll be on in about 7 or 8 minutes. I'll be following up right after us. You can pick them up right on the station that picks them up and plays through. On that night, good night, and I will see you on Wednesday.
It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast, in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all of the 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and go out and vote now. All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. Yes, it is that time of year again. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards: UFO Undercover, in the category of entertainment. UFO Undercover brings you some of the most revealing and current research that is being done with respect to alien abductions and contact. Host Joe Montaldo has been an abduction researcher for over 35 years and is uniquely qualified to bring you live interviews with some of the most well-known researchers in ufology. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate UFO Undercover in the category of entertainment.
All right, everybody. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards: The Outer Realm, in the category of Best Female Hosted Podcast. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, which boasts millions of listeners each week who are well known for and have been complimented on their very laid-back, roundtable style of interviewing. Together, this dynamic duo brings you the best of the best with guests from around the world who are well-versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness, and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com. Hey there. It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards: The News on the Flipside, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flipside is a much different news and political program which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts from trusted sources, which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate News on the Flipside in the category of politics and news. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now.